What's up, everybody? Yeah, come on in. Yeah, come on in. What's up, Desiree? Yeah, come on in. What's up, Raw? What's up, Pebbles? Yeah, come on in. We gonna get started in a second. Yeah, Pebbles, I'm having a pretty good Tuesday. How about yourself? We'll give him another minute and we'll get started. All right. How about we go ahead and begin? Now, there's many things that inspired this lecture, because this is really just a heart-to-heart. What's up, Alexis? There's many things that inspired this lecture. It's really just a heart-to-heart, just a, discussion, just some observations that I've made over time. What's up, Lil Light? And what I've come to notice is, everybody is yearning for something. The soul is talking. The divine spark is speaking. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Brian? You see what I'm saying? The divine spark is speaking. But I notice the divine spark is being ignored a lot, because, a lot of people in this society in society as a whole, don't deal with the soul, or the soul wisdom, or soul teachers. But it's speaking. It's speaking louder than ever. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is yearning to do something, go places, create something, meet new people. You see what I'm saying? Travel. This is happening for a reason. And the reason why is because the soul wants what the soul wants, which is what this lecture is about. See, unlike the physical us, the physical us does not need, we have necessities. We have things that we have to do to survive down here on this plane of existence. What's up, Diana? We have, things we need to do to survive down here on this plane of existence. But the soul, on the other hand, doesn't have needs. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have necessities. It only has wants, desires, because it's an immortal entity. Why would an immortal entity have a need? It knows that it lives forever. So since it lives forever, it's invulnerable. It can't be touched, can't be moved. So shit, why does it have a need? You see what I'm saying? Why does it have a necessity? But it has yearnings, it has desires, because the soul, through these experiences, the soul grows. You see what I'm saying? It expands. You see, that's why you're led to certain knowings. You're led to certain places. You're led to meet certain people. You're led to do certain things because the soul yearns it. You see what I'm saying? It longs for it. It needs this. It needs this experience. You see what I'm saying? And fucking, you damn near die from within when you don't get a chance to have those experiences. You die a little bit every day when you don't fulfill your soul, some of your soul yearnings for that day. Whether it's just learning, or whether it's just going places, or whether it's just watching a fucking movie that your soul say you need to watch. You see what I'm saying? What's up, OG Johnson? You see what I'm saying? It's just yearnings. It just needs. It just desires. See what I'm saying? Wants of your soul, but these wants are actually it's actually soul wisdom. This is your soul intelligence. This is what your soul telling you need to do to grow it. And the more your soul grows, the more your soul awakens, then everything else about you gets information. The spirit, the mind, the body, the emotions. You see what I'm saying? Everything else gets information. The more the soul awakens. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here with these soul yearnings. I've been noticing this, a lot of people complain about, we this and we that, but no, we souls. That's point blank. We souls first before we anything else. Now, if your soul yearn to go a certain place and do a certain thing, then cool. Go do it. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're down here for, to experience, to grow, to travel, to see new things, to perform this alchemy, this great work. The great work is in the experience, is in the journey. You see what I'm saying? It's in the transformation, it's in the change. It's not in the destination, actually. It's in the journey. And the journey never ends, actually. This is just an earthly pit stop. This is a pit stop on this earth for our souls. We be here for a little bit. We do what we need to do. Then most of the time we drop the body and leave on. Some of us stay here. We gain esoteric teachings. We enhance our bodies to live for a few hundred years so we can pass on the teachings. You see what I'm saying? To the next generations. That's what's going on here. What's up, Malcolm? That's what's going on here with these with this soul yearning, with the desires of your divine spark. You need this, because without those desires, you really don't have a roadmap to how to beat this shit. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's why those insights, those nudges, those intuitions. You see what I'm saying? Those instincts lead you. Those feelings lead you to certain places to do certain things. You see what I'm saying? To meet new people, to gather the knowledge you need to create your works, to your alchemists, your magnum opuses. You see what I'm saying? Your great works. That's what this is all about. Producing these alchemists. You see what I'm saying? You're a soul alchemist. So that's what's going on here. You're a soul alchemist. And as a soul alchemist, you're supposed to be doing these things to grow yourself to such a point where you can produce your own creative works, your own scientific formulas, your own artistic paintings. You see what I'm saying? Your own musical creations. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. That's what this soul yearning is about. And everybody all of a sudden has this. It's getting stronger. It's growing. We need to do new things, Marvin. We need to go new places, Marvin. We need to do this. We need to do that, Marvin. What's up with this? That's your soul saying you need to do it. But you don't want to do it because you want to enjoy this fucking society. You see what I'm saying? Fuck this society. Hell, it's just a playground. It's just a training ground for you to grow. But you're not listening to your souls on the growth. And since you're not listening to your soul, you're committing internal suicide. Believe it or not, motherfuckers committing suicide have died internally long before they actually commit suicide physically. I want y'all to know that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's internal suicide when you don't listen to the intuitive wisdoms and machinations of your soul, of your divine spark. That's why we tell you, come back to yourself. Find yourself. Learn yourself. See yourself. So you can eventually come to know thyself. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's what's going on here. You gotta tap into these soul wisdoms, these soul instincts. You see what I'm saying? Because without this internal compass, the directions of your divine spark, you're gonna always be lost down here. You're gonna always fucking be trying to find treasures in a stack of needles and haze. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna always be walking through existence, but you're gonna be hollow. You see what I'm saying? The deathly hollows, as they told you in fucking Harry Potter. You're gonna always be walking through those deathly hollows, empty on the inside. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like you said, there you go, Alexis. Slow deaths, because you ain't listening to your soul. The whole point of this journey is to find your soul again, connect with it inside of you, and then go and do what needs to be done with your alchemy. Once you regenerate your inner self, then go and show the world what that inner self is all about. Show them what's inside of you. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Star? Show these motherfuckers what you about. Show these motherfuckers that you the everlasting being, that everlasting deity that has no beginning and no end. You see what I'm saying? Show them. You see what I'm saying? Cause a lot of things is happening here. A lot of awakenings is happening. You see what I'm saying? For example, we've been lately. It's been an indigenous revolution in America. And, motherfuckers has been shunning that shit. I don't know why. A lot of the ancient American teachings about this land here have been surfacing because those indigenous ancestors have activated that aspect of what you call, the ancient Egyptians called the Seb, S-E-B, your ancestral soul. You see what I'm saying? They have awakened that inside of you to bring forth this knowledge once more so you can reconnect with them. You see what I'm saying? And begin to regenerate this land once more. Because this is your home. You've always been here. So I got a lot of motherfuckers, I just posted something on Turtle Island today. I was like, oh yeah, all the spiritual teachers have migrated back to the Northwest. Of course, because the Northwest, America is the root chakra. Because everything is here once more because everything is stirring again. The teachers had to come back here and be mixed into that pot and stir it up once more to produce, so you can produce a new alchemy. Everything I come back to the root chakra first, so it could be reborn. You see what I'm saying? It could be reborn again from the ashes of the phoenix. You see, that phoenix can be reborn from the ashes. You see what I'm saying? Those melanated ashes, the triple darkness, the triple ash, and rise again as something new. But you need all the world's spirituality to do it. You see what I'm saying? You need that. That's why everything has came over here. If you look, just take you a day and Google like all the other religions and see what's going on their land. And you see, you study Hinduism, they warring with the Muslims over their shit in India. Asia, the corrupt, I just released something on Asia, the corrupt archonic government over there, destroying the old Taoist and Buddhist temples. You see what I'm saying? Africa, we ain't even got to talk about so-called Africa, which we're going to get to that in a second. We ain't even got to talk about ancient Nubia. You see what I'm saying? And how and what they've done on that land. Shit, it's a mountain of evidence of what they've done over there. Australia, you see, they trying to wipe out Australia. Shit, they trying to take Australia out completely because Australia is still remnants of Lemuria, and they can't stand that Lemurian energy. Because the Lemurian Indians was all about the internal soul wisdom. And whereas Atlantis was about more of the advanced technologies, the crystals, everything like that. You see what I'm saying? The Jedi. You see what I'm saying? But Lemuria, they was all about this internal spark and developing it and using those supernatural abilities from within. So that's where there you go. So there you go. Pebbles China is falling. It's crumbling. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's leaving. Hey, they got to export their people out the land because it's crumbling. It's crumbling. And their government that went fucking, they lost their damn minds. They kicking motherfuckers off the land left and right now. You see what I'm saying? Just wiping out temples and everything just to kick people out. So that's what you got going on. Like you said, there you go, Pebbles. The old systems are falling. The old systems are falling. And that's why all of the spiritual teachers had to come back to America, the root chakra, to be reborn, to be regenerated. You see what I'm saying? You got everything you need right here. The only teachings that we're having a hard time registering right now is the indigenous teachings. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is fighting us tooth and nail about them indigenous teachings. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And their argument is we Africans. But if you look at the history of Africa, there's nothing but negatives about it. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as Africa. If you look at the history, even Africans don't call themselves Africans. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? They come over here as Nigerian American. It's Ghanaian American. You see, it's Zimbabwean American. And you know why? Because they know that Africa was used as a derogatory term to describe them. You see what I'm saying? Over there. And even over here. We know that the term African American was really truly installed in the 80s. And I'm talking about late 80s. I ain't talking about early 80s. Mid to late 80s by Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's the one who spearheaded the African movement, the African American movement. And we all know fucking Jesse Jackson is a CIA agent. Hell, nigga even got Martin Luther King Jr. killed when he started changing his teachings. So we already know that. Yeah, he was a CIA agent, Boule, you know, Black Archon for the most part, designed to take you out and keep you distracted. Let me read y'all a little article, a little piece of article. I'm gonna post it on my page later. Let me show you what he says here. Let me show you what he says. Here we go. It said, a movement led by the Reverend Jesse Jackson to call blacks African Americans has met with both rousing approval and deep-seated skepticism in a debate that is coming to symbolize the role and history of blacks in this country. The term used for years in intellectual circles is gaining currency among many other blacks who say is used as a sign that they are accepting their difficult past and resolving their long ambivalence towards Africa. The term has already shown up in the newest grade school textbooks, been adopted by several black-run radio stations and newspapers around the country, and appeared in the titles of popular books in the conversation of many blacks as the feelings I've had all these years. Now, here we go. Mr. Wilkins' feelings are not shared by all. Skeptics, many of them older blacks who have lived through previous name changes, are resisting the movement. Some say they do not identify with Africa and resent prominent blacks telling them what to be called. Others feel that the debate over a new name draws attention away from problems like unemployment and drug abuse. So this is literally a campaign to distract you from what was really going on here. So the leaders, who most of them motherfuckers is Boule, CIA agents, and goddamn black archons for the most part. Leaders of the movement to change the language said it was concerned about those problems and growing involvement in the fight to end racial separation in South Africa that led to the search for a clearer group identity. But these motherfuckers know that Africans don't call themselves Africans. You see what I'm saying? So they made that shit up. But check this out. On the other hand, when we give you indigenous teachers, you see what I'm saying? I give you indigenous teachers and say, yo, this Turtle Island, I can prove it. You see what I'm saying? This is the United States of America and Canada, and this is the turtle. Don't it look just like a turtle? Yep. Yeah, I can prove my indigenous teachings to you. I can't prove shit about Africa. I just read you what they said about Africa. The word Africa. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is what we got going on here. You see, this is the last real big historical barrier between us and, mental freedom on some levels. This here is Nubia. You see what I'm saying? This is Nubia. Ancient Egypt, Alkebulan, just some of the names that we know of it. There's more names, of course. There's plenty of names, depending on where you go, where you're going. See what I'm saying? Ancient Meroe, Ancient Kush. All these cool names, that you can relate to. The Nubian Kandakis, who will go on into Kush. And goddamn those warrior queens who's about their life. You see, the ancient Egyptians, who will go on to become the ancient Ethiopians. You see what I'm saying? You see the ancient Kushites, the Meroe Empire. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So what are they doing here? This is a distraction. They said I remember saying somebody said the whole world. I remember when the whole world once believed they was Africans, and that was a fucking spell, because there's no such thing as the word Africa. You see what I'm saying? That was another spell within a spell to keep you distracted. Now motherfuckers is breaking that spell because the indigenous ancestors are fucking screaming from the other side. It's time for those indigenous teachings to resurrect. And that's what's happening here. That's what's happening. Those indigenous teachings are resurrected now, and can't no one or nothing do nothing about them. It said that there are three phases of truth. First, they laugh at you, then they mock you. I think that's what we at now, level 2, because nobody's laughing at it anymore. And then finally, they accept it. So we working on that last part, the acceptance of it. What's up, Lisa? We're working on that last part. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. What you said, Alexis, my GMA cussed me out for calling her African American. Her people been here. It's true. There's no such thing as African American, and that article that I read is literally from the New York Times. And January 31st, 1989, where they was doing that shit. You see what I'm saying? Where they was creating this spell. You see what I'm saying? And you know it's something going on whenever these motherfuckers got the funding to do this shit. Where they getting the money from? And if you track the money back, I guarantee you the cabal is behind it. You see what I'm saying? Like they did with the Black Lives Matter movement. They tracked the money back to where it was. They tracked it back to George Soros, a known cabal fucking leader. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going on. Anytime they got like overwhelming amounts of money to fund their fucking movements, and you don't know where that money come from, that 9 out of 10 they are backed by the cabal. You see what I'm saying? So this was going on here. And it's funny. They telling me that there's no indigenous names for Turtle Island, but according to you got one of the indigenous tribes, they call it Makichi or Mixchi, and then you got another one here who I say called Toba. They call it Toba, the turtle. You see what I'm saying? Hold on here. Let me see. Said name Toba, tribal affiliation Abenaki. Alternate spellings, they give you alternate spellings. Also known as Plawino, the type turtle. And it tells you Toba is a turtle. Toba the turtle is one of the main characters of Abenaki creation mythology. Toba and Musquash, the muskrat, were the two animals responsible for the creation of the earth, the heart. As Musquash, the muskrat, successfully dived to the bottom of the ocean to bring up melanin, and Toba volunteered to carry the new land on his back. This myth is not told in other Wabanaki tribes and may have been borrowed from neighboring cultures where it is more common, such as the Ojibwe or the Iroquois tribes. So they telling y'all what it is. Here. You see what I'm saying? They letting you know like this shit been here. And it's not. And the funny part is, it's actually not hard to research indigenous teachings. It's just hard to teach indigenous teachings because motherfuckers, it's so much resistance against them. You see what I'm saying? Especially from the Afrocentric motherfuckers out there in New York. They don't want you to talk about that shit. Even though it's already been proven that our pyramids are older than our cousins out there in Nubia. It's already been proven that we've been here by Empress Verdiasi of the Washita tribe, when she wrote her book. I think it was called Return of the Old Ones, if I'm not mistaken, or The Great Old Ones. She wrote that. Then Arlene Bay came with his book, who was one of her greatest disciples. So you know, it's funny. And it's weird how you know there's an agenda here, because if I talk about ancient Nubia and ancient Egypt, it's praised. If I talk about ancient Europe, the Grimaldis and all them, it's praised. If I talk about ancient Asia and Russia, praised. The Kokians. That's who was running ancient Russia, the Kokians. If I talk about the ancient Australians, the Tasmanians and all them, praised. Right? We start talking about the ancient Americans, all hell breaks loose. See what I'm saying? See what the problem is here? See the disconnection? I can talk about all the ancient societies of all the other civilizations across the planet. But when we get to the indigenous ancient American teachings, there is an agenda of pure fucking resistance. You see what I'm saying? Pure resistance. Blocking this shit. You see what I'm saying? You know, and it's funny. Like I said, it's not really hard to research the indigenous teachings. You will literally find a mountain of evidence. Like, actually, there's plenty of our other melanated brothers and sisters who've actually done the research. They literally got in their cars, spent their money and time traveling to Washington, D.C., to the Library of Congress to find these books, which were there, and read out of those books what was in there, and they show you 300-400 years ago the indigenous black Americans. You see what I'm saying? The Aboriginal black Americans. You see what I'm saying? So what's going on here? It gotta be an agenda, because I know Africa is a spell, both over here and over there. You see what I'm saying? Only difference between us is the Africans already know that shit is a spell and don't even adhere to it no more. We the only ones still holding on to that shit. And the reason why we're still holding on to it is because the Afrocentric movement at the time was really all we had, because it was only pockets of consciousness at the time. So they were our spokespersons at the time, and really we couldn't do nothing about it, because who's gonna stop them? You see what I'm saying? There was no internet to stop them. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, there you go, little. Like the Empress won a court case, proving that she been here, and she proved tracked her lineage back millions and millions of years of being here. You see what I'm saying? She talking about Empress Verdiasi in the Washita tribe down there in Louisiana. So, you know, she tracks her lineage all the way back to fucking like millions of years ago. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we know it's an agenda now. We know it's an agenda to keep these indigenous teachings suppressed. That's the last historical event here that hasn't been fully broken. That's the last, like, historical spell that I've seen. Like, everything else, it's funny because we say the whole planet is black, but we still don't want to accept. There's a lot of people that don't want to accept the indigenous teachings. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's still a war between us being indigenous Americans and us being African Americans. You see what I'm saying? But really, the soul wants what the soul wants, and the ancestral soul said, "Hey, bring back the indigenous teachings, those soul yearnings." Because, you know, they talk shit about us, but they never asked what made us do it. You know, usually at least ask that, like, why y'all digging up the indigenous teaching? Because it's a yearning. You see what I'm saying? That soul desire for those teachers to return. See what I'm saying? Because it's incomplete. It's an incomplete puzzle without the ancient American teachings. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's an incomplete puzzle. But yeah, we can even go to South America. You see what I'm saying? The Incas, the Norte Chico, the Chavan. You see what I'm saying? Ancient civilizations in South America that was real fucking powerful. We can go to Mesoamerica, Olmecs, Aztecs, Toltecs, Mayans. You see what I'm saying? We get up here and we start talking about them ancient mound builders. Nobody want to talk about that shit. Nobody want to talk about the ancient mound builders. Nope. Nobody want to talk about the Utalians. Nobody want to talk about the Atlanteans. Nobody want to talk about that shit. And I find it to be fucking weird. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I find it to be weird as hell that nobody want to talk about our indigenous teachings. You see what I'm saying? We supposed to be searching for ourselves, but you know, and it's really a lot of them yearn to go to Nubia, what they call Africa, but they're ignoring their yearning and not preparing to deal with their yearning. And guess what? That shit is starting to fuck with them. So my advice to you is go over there. Take you a trip to Nubia or Africa. And goddamn, you see what I'm saying? And have that experience. So you can fulfill that yearning. Because even I have my own yearnings of places I want to go. I want to go to Brazil. You see what I'm saying? That's one of my soul yearnings. I want to go to Southern Asia. You see what I'm saying? With them black towers. That's one of my soul yearnings. You see what I'm saying? So I'm working on getting passports and money to take those trips. So everybody has their soul yearning. You know, go, and some of y'all will actually stay in those places because we are migratory people. So some of us will stay in Nubia. Some of us will leave and go to Europe and stay in Europe. Others will leave and go to Asia and stay in Asia. Others will even leave and go to South America and stay in South America. You see what I'm saying? Or Mesoamerica, depending on what your soul yearns, or you might just have the experience, and that's all you need, and then you come back home and tell the experience, and you good. But it all depends on what your soul needs in that sense. You see what I'm saying? Because the soul don't really have needs, or what your soul wants or desires, shall I say? See what I'm saying? So that's what's going on. This divine spark need this. This divine spark wants this. Desires this resurrection of all of the teachings all the ancient teachings across the planet, including and not limited to our indigenous people, our indigenous teachings. That's why that's why those indigenous teachings are on the rise. One of the biggest events is Dane Calloway. He dropped that science, and then his teachings, historical teachings, triggered an awakening. You see what I'm saying? And he met so much resistance, especially from the Afrocentric tribe, you know, up there in New York with Sarnetta in there. He met so much resistance. You know, you would think, you know, logically that it's okay, that should be glorified. That you find out that, whoa, I've always been here, and and the teachers was in my face all the time. I just didn't know. Usually that's something that's, you know, glorified, but not in this scenario. It's shunned, which we know there's an agenda at hand when it's shunned like that. It ranges anywhere from it just being a fucking spell and it's hard to break, and people don't want to accept that they're not from Africa. You see what I'm saying? Because Africa don't exist. Now you may have some Nubian ancestors that was dragged over here or just came over here there on free will. You know, later on down the timeline, but goddamn, Africa don't exist. Where's Africa? Show me Africa. Show me that shit. Cause the British name that was a British name. That was a British derogatory name. Now you can show me Nubia. Of course, you can show me Nubia. You know, that's why our Nubian counterparts are coming from. You see what I'm saying? So yes, you have Nubian ancestors. You have ancient Egyptian ancestors who have came across, who have migrated to this side of the planet and intermixed with us. Yes, you do have that. Ancient Ethiopian ancestors, Sumerian ancestors, of course. There's no denying that. But show me where Africa is. I'm waiting for that shit. Y'all show me Africa. You know, shit, we have Marcus Garvey in the RBG movement. You know, he was getting ready to go to Africa, remember? So-called Africa, or Nubia, as we know it. And they sunk his ships. You know, Black Boule. CIA agents sunk his ships. But you gotta ask yourself, why they sank the ships? I thought they wanted America. And the answer is because they know, you know, these archons know that if we leave this land, they ain't gonna get wiped out because this is our land. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This is our land. So they know this. They ain't gonna be wiped out by a plague or some shit because our indigenous ancestors ain't gonna have it. They ain't got no safety net. They ain't got no protection. That's why they sunk his ships. You see what I'm saying? That's why they sunk his ships. Because we talking about early 1900s with no African narrative, for real. See what I'm saying? With no African narrative. Everybody at that time was calling themselves indigenous to the land. You can go check that out for yourself. That's literally a hierarchy of name change that happened over the last 100 years. You just go see that for yourself. So this is what we got going on. So yes, you know, people, you go to South America, ancient South America, they accept the Incas and the Chavan, they do know about it, or Norte Chico. Mesoamerica and North America, that's when shit get rocking. Now, they'll give you the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Toltecs, but they're not giving you the Olmecs. Nope. They refuse to give you them fucking Olmecs, even though Ivan Van Sertima been talking about the fucking Olmecs since, he been talking about what, 40s, 50s? Shit, they came before Columbus? But nobody want to deal with that. Nobody want to hear that shit. You see, what's up, new? Nobody want to hear that. You see what I'm saying? They slid down to the side, even though we can show you. Not only do we have books, we can show you statues. We can show you pyramids. We can show you mounds. I can travel all over the country and we can show you the mounds. We can show you like different artwork and designs that the mound builders created. We can show you caves. We can show you all this shit on the fucking land of this ancient civilization of people who were here, and we're trying to figure out where they at. And the answer is they never left. We are the descendants of those people. Just like in so-called Africa, the fucking they're the ancient, they're the modern day descendants of the Nubians. You see what I'm saying? The ancient Egyptians and Ethiopians. So and then you go to the Middle East. They the modern day descendants of the Sumerians, the Babylonians, the Akkadians, the Hurrians. You see what I'm saying? So the Sabians. So you know, we never left. Ain't nobody went nowhere. You know, a few of us may have migrated here and there, but in the long run, we ain't went nowhere. Unless our soul yearns that we go somewhere and meet new people. Yep. That divine spark kick in here, yeah, you gotta get up and go now. You gotta get up and go. Peace. I'm out. Peace. See you when I get back. See you when I see you. Shit. So that's when it's time to go. When that divine spark awaken inside of you and you have to move. See what I'm saying? That solar energy, that soul energy, that heat, that divine heat that's here. Wake up inside you, causing you to move. You see what I'm saying? And go places, and meet people, and do things, and create new things. Cause you need those to fuel your creations, your creativity, your muses, your inspirations, your revelations. You see what I'm saying? How you gonna create if you don't experience new things? That's just logic. You see what I'm saying? That's just reason. So that's what those soul yearnings are about. That's what those soul yearnings are about. And for a full holistic world understanding, you need as many of the ancient teachers as possible. You see what I'm saying? Across the planet. That's why I tell you I get y'all the book of mythologies. They give you a bird's eye view into the thought processes of all your ancient ancestors on all lanes. You see what I'm saying? The stories were what they told to the children. And we just waking up, so we are like children. We just waking up out this coma, so we are like children. So mythologies are actually one of the best places to start because they are literally stories giving you an idea of how these cultures think. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's the indigenous Americans, whether it's the Australians, whether it's the islanders, whether it's the Europeans, the ancient Europeans, where is this ancient Asians, you see what I'm saying? The ancient Nubians, I said Australians, and ancient South Americans and Mesoamericans, you see what I'm saying? So that's usually the best place to start. That's why we always highly recommend mythology. Start there, get your book on world mythology, and just research and just see what they was thinking, what triggered this desire to create during their time. You see what I'm saying? What made them tell all of these stories? That's the questions you should be asking yourself. See, these motherfuckers created gods and deities and superpowers and all these other crazy things that they was doing with these mythologies. Why would they do that? And that's what the mythologies give you. They give you an idea. Then that launches you into the history of what they was going through. You see what I'm saying? Once you deal with the myths, you go into the history of what they was going through. Then finally you get into the mystery, the soul of it. You see what I'm saying? The soul of it, and that's the most important part, because the soul is the core. You see what I'm saying? It's the divine enlightenment, the divine consciousness, the source intelligence. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That the chaos of the melanin starts to produce new forms of light through that soul explosion. You see what I'm saying? That soul combustion that you experience from becoming aware of these multiple cultures, histories, mythologies, spiritualities, and so on and so forth. So there y'all go. That's what this is all about. The soul wants what the soul wants. So when you yearn for something, when your soul yearns for something, that divine spark kick in, you best believe you about to move, and I advise you to do everything it takes to get there, or else your soul gonna kick your ass until you do it. You know, that's just from a man who's actually made those mistakes. See what I'm saying? I advise you to follow those soul yearnings, or you gonna get your ass kicked by your soul. You see what I'm saying? And it will whoop that ass. And ain't nothing like getting your ass whooped by your soul self. That's the worst ass whooping you'll ever take in life. Trust me on that. So, with that being said, that pretty much ends this heart to heart. Any questions? Any questions here? Love Light, you should see what they do at those mounds right now today. They are still digging cosmic beings in the ground, or out of the ground, no lie. Yeah. They can't hide that shit. The ancestors refuse to be hidden anymore. There's no secrets. I like what Bobby Hemming once said. There's no secrets. It's just our lack of knowledge of those secrets at this point. Our unawareness of it. You see what I'm saying? So that's what's going on here. We just not aware. And that's what the fight is about. The fight is about, the war is about fighting for your information once again. Whether it's your histories, your hidden histories, your occult sciences, whether it's your original cultures, whether it's everything. See what I'm saying? Because how you going to create something new if you don't know how it all went down? I know a lot of people want to create something new, but they can't. What's up, Malik? They can't, because they don't have the background. They don't have the foundation of their histories, mysteries, and fucking culture, ancient cultures. You see what I'm saying? They don't have that. So how you gonna? It's supposed to be 70% innovation and 30% tradition. Well, a lot of motherfuckers are innovative, but they don't have the tradition, the core, to empower those innovations fully. And that's why they never fully create what they want to create. see what I'm saying? You got to get into the traditional side of it for a little while to understand the basic concepts of a thing. Then you can fuel your muses, your inspirations, your creations, your enthusiasm and realizations. So, there you go. Any other questions? There you go, Pebbles. Africa is literally named by the British, which were Europeans. You see what I'm saying? Doing their conquest at the time. Pebbles, because people don't want to believe and do research. Motherfuckers are research. They just don't want to research that aspect. That's the sad part. Niggas will research all day, just don't want to research the indigenous histories. Because then they'll have to accept, for some reason, accepting that you are from here is a horrifying truth. That you was always here is a horrifying truth for some fucking reason. I don't know why. So any other questions before I get up out of here? Well, alright. If y'all had no other questions, I'm Marvin Jones. Y'all put the word out, share this with your friends, let them know what it is, and I'm out. Peace.